Of A&W podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Wale, aka Walls.
Hello everyone, my name is ADE, Mr. Africans Do Everything.
On today's topic, we'll be speaking about something very near and dear to us, very, very close to our heart, and we'll be talking about sickle cell anemia. And on today's episode, we'll be sharing experiences from both people that are currently dealing with it, how they're managing it, and also ways of identifying the possibility of you getting involved with someone and having a child with this blood disorder.
Yes, as you well know, as myself, I'm a warrior, as we call it. Most people they like to call us sickler. They like us to call us sickle cell patient, but in the new terms of the new generation, we call it warriors. Sickle cell is a blood disorder that affects your body when there's not enough oxygen that's coming into your system. So basically, what sickle cell is to do with your blood. When your red blood cells not getting enough oxygen into your system, it turns into the blood system turn into a sickle shape of blood. So when this sickle cell blood are flowing through your system, they cause a blockage through your system, which then turn into excruciating pain. I have been living with sickle cell all my life, and my brother also have seen me with my crisis pain. We call it crisis pain, and when this crisis pain hits you, you are weakened. You are. I don't even want to use the word like demolish, but you can't do anything. It's either you're crying in pain, and you have to go to the hospital, and then you have to get treatment. And if you don't get a proper treatment or care, it could easily you can easily lose your life. The reason why we're talking about this topic now is because recently we just lost two of our warriors in in the hospital first of all, and one person was found dead in the ocean, but we don't know the reason why it was found in the lake in London. So we just have to talk about a bit about the topic of sickle cell today. Sickle cell starts from birth, so basically from your parents. And to my knowledge, is that there's blood group types. There's AA, there's AS, and normally if AA and AS join together and have babies, there's no problem. They might have a child that has just a trait. But if a AS person and an AS person have kids together, there's 25% possibility chance that the child will turn out as a sickle cell patient. In my state, I'm the only one in my family that actually have the full blown SS sickle cell trait, which we call for sickle cell people is SS. Basically, they inherit the S from the mom and the S from the dad,
Right.
to join one.
Just to kind of touch on that a little bit, when we speak about sickle cell and how it's actually formed from birth, the reason why we're speaking about this is because in our community there's a bit of a stigma, especially within in the West. When I say in the West, I mean UK, Germany, US. The reason for that is because it's predominantly a disease that's found in African and Caribbean community, and in some cases in Indian community as well.
Yep.
And due to the fact that this is not something that's common within the Caucasian or white community, uh, the knowledge is not fully there, so it's still sort of an ongoing learning process. So we're kind of using this platform to make people be aware of who they're getting involved with in terms of raising children. So to kind of break it down, like my brother touched on a little bit earlier on, there's three blood group or blood types. There's AA, there's AS, and there's SS. So to kind of make it make sense, if a male that has AA blood type and a woman that has AA blood type gets together, all their children will be all AA.
Yep.
If someone that has AS gets involved with someone that has AA, they'll have AA and AS only. If someone has AS blood type and the partner has AS blood type as well, there's a high chance that they'll have a child with AA blood type and also a child with SS blood type. So to kind of like go back to the point we're making, this is to sort of advise young people within our community in terms of when you're ready to raise family or when you're getting involved with your potential partner. These are things that you need to look into, because it's better to be aware of these things so that you can know what the future lies or what is likely to happen in the future, than to go into these things blindly and then bring a child into the world and not having the basic knowledge of how to deal with this sort of situation, you know.
And also, like you said, that there's a stigma in the West. There's also stigma in Africa, because when I was growing up, they always think with lack of information that's over there, people always think that somebody that's having pain or crisis is a witchcraft baby. You understand? They used to call us Abiku back then. You understand? So, and the reason why they do that is because of the lack of information that they don't have. I remember my mom was telling me as well, like when she was pregnant with me and she found out that I was going to be a sickle cell patient, the doctor was actually telling her that if she decided to go ahead with having the baby, there's a possibility chance that I will not live past certain age, which is first the age they told me I won't live past the age of 13, I won't live past the age of 22. By His grace, I am 42 years old today, and I'm glad my mom didn't make the decision to terminate me, because if they do, I won't be giving you this information right here. Mm-hmm. But let's go into our crisis pain. A lot of people have different description of how the pain may affect them. When I'm having my crisis, the kind of pain I'm feeling is somebody like using hammer to beat me continuously all over my bone body. And my brother has always had the first experience when we were back in Africa, when we didn't have the money to go into the hospital to get proper medication. I remember I used to scream so much, like
so many sleepless nights.
Yes, sleepless nights, and he can't sleep unless I sleep. And I remember the way that I used to. I remember I used to ask him to sit on my back, or wherever I'm having the pain. I mean, when the pain comes, it can come in any way, any form and shape, and there's no signal of it coming. It will just come randomly, and then you have to find a way to take care of it. I remember the time that he would sit on my back until I fall asleep. Then he can fall asleep. You understand? Because if he doesn't fall asleep, I'm still gonna be screaming. If I don't fall asleep, I'm still gonna be screaming in pain and agony. I remember people used to come and knock at the door, like to find out why is this screaming so much. You understand? But people didn't really understand what I was going through as a child. I remember my first experience of having a major crisis. Back then I was in the background in the kitchen washing dishes while I was bending down. And by the time I finished washing the dishes, I could not stand from that bending down position. That people have to come and carry me from that bending down position to a bed and try and straighten my leg. If you see the pain that I was going through when they're trying to straighten that leg, whew, it was so much pain that I thought I was gonna pass out. But yeah, so that's part of the pain description that we have as a sickle cell patient. So we're gonna go forward to looking after it and taking care of having crisis.
Yeah. Sorry to cut you. Just to kind of go back to what my brother said earlier on, the whole point of his experience that he just described is to kind of let us know that there are ways that you can sort of manage the crisis.
Mm-hmm.
because especially in the West, there's a perception or there's this view that once you feel this sort of crisis pain, you should go to the hospital. I can encourage that to a certain extent, but the downside of that is if you're not careful, you become addicted to this medicine that they give you. My brother will be able to go in details in terms of the specifics of the medicine that you're given, but what we're trying to do is basic things, basic daily things. Like from my own observation, I feel like things that will trigger off this crisis are what we as people need to identify,
Yeah.
because once we know these things, we can then manage these triggers. And also, when you're having crisis, there are ways that you can sort of manage the pain. Yes, taking medication, like I said previously, is advisable, because I would never say you shouldn't. But at the same time, over time, you as an individual, we should know our body better. Like for example, from knowing my brother, extreme weather
Yep.
leads to crisis. Extreme work leads to crisis. Also, stress, and that can come in form of physical stress or mental stress. And these are things that we as individuals and as parents, especially for parents, we need to be able to know these things in advance, because don't get me wrong, having a child with sickle cell is not a bad thing.
No.
It's not a bad thing. That's not the point we're making. But it will be more helpful to know how to treat this, because, for example, the young man that lost his life a few days ago, to our understanding, he has sickle cell. And based on what has been put out in the media, he's been struggling with this because over the last 1 year, he's had to shield, which means simple things like being around friends, which are things that will help his mental well-being. He was isolated from this. So it could have led to stress, which could lead to crisis. And if you do have crisis and you're being shielded, that means when you do go to the hospital, you're not having visitors to come and see you. So these are things that would have long impact on the patient, the person that's the warrior, as my brother said. So we just need to understand it a bit better, and also help the younger generation to understand their body a bit better.
Yeah. So regarding medications, on how to manage with sickle cell, like there's blood type medicine like folic acid. When we're having serious pain, we have to go into hospital. Like if you can't control the pain at home, that the next stage is for you to go to the hospital. You understand? I mean, I have different experience growing up in Nigeria. Like we have herbal medicine to help us, and I remember my crisis used to last to about 3 weeks then, and I won't be able to eat. I won't have nutrient, but like I don't even know how I made it, because there's so many things that I've been through, and I'm just looking, like the flashback is just coming to my head, like how did I survive that? You understand? So when I came to United Kingdom, everything was different. You understand? Easily, you will call ambulance, they will come to your house, pick you up, put you in ambulance, and take you to the hospital. By the time you get to the hospital, there's a bed for you. The doctors will give you your medication, and then give you a room to recuperate from there. But we didn't have this facility. We have it in Nigeria, but you have to be rich, and our pocket was not balling then, so we have to manage. So I used to survive on herbal medicine. I've been to different places to try and see if they can find cure. You understand? But it is what it is. Like my mom used to say, this is my cross in life. And
You
I
have to
must,
just cry,
you
carry
just have
it.
to just carry it. You understand? And my mom was really strict with me. She was not like, she didn't treat me any different from him. You understand? She said to me, I'm not gonna let you be limping or anything. So anytime I'm having crisis, if I'm refusing to eat, she will smack me to eat. She will beat me to eat,
Call
to
it
drink.
tough love.
You understand? And one of the most important things to also do is like drink liquid, especially water. Water is very good for with you when dealing with sickle cell, because it helps with your bloodstream and everything. And also breathing exercise. Like you showed me breathing exercise the other day, and breathing exercise help as well. You understand? Because whenever I'm having crisis, a serious crisis, and I don't want to go to the hospital, I will be in this position like this, and I will practice my breathing exercise. If I do it for at least 10 minutes, you will see the level of the crisis gone down. And when I do that, I just lie down in my bed and just let it go. Take my medication at home, because it's so easy to go to the hospital, because the drugs that they give you at the hospital is very addictive.
Codeine.
Yes, codeine. They give you morphine.
Morphine.
One of my favorites is the gas that they give me inside the ambulance, which is the Octanus. That gas, like before they pick me up, I'm rolling in pain and screaming in agony. But when they give me that gas in the ambulance, if I feel like I'm Bob Marley, that's high. You understand? I'm smiling to everybody. You understand? And when they get me to the hospital and they take that gas off, it's like the pain back. You understand? So, yeah. So, and the morphine is very strong drugs. There's also another one called oxycodone. That one, I stay away from that one, because after they give it to me, I'm having illusions. I'm having I'm seeing things.
Lucid dreams.
Yes, I'm seeing things. You understand? And I know a lot of warriors have said this to their nurses, and nurses don't take them seriously. And it's true. Them drugs is so powerful that you can see stuff. You understand? I used to have, like, wake up in the middle of the night and find myself walking around, and I'm just thinking, how did I get here? You understand? And with the NHS, I have some good experience and some bad experience. Like, for example, one of the warrior that died recently, that he called 999 on the bed because he's trying to get them to come and help him. I remember my experience with one of the nurses in there when I was in pain, and I've never felt like this pain I was feeling, and I was calling this nurse to come and give me my morphine, because one of the things that people that works in that industry think is that we just come and get the drugs.
Like they're addicted.
We are addicted to it. No, we are not. We're just in pain. You understand? And I remember that experience that night, that for them to listen to what I was feeling, I had to be rude. I had to be aggressive. I have to be screaming. When I said I have to be flipping table overs and like making noise, because when you say, give me my pain, they'll be like, oh, he's addicted.
He can manage it.
Yeah, he can manage it. But I couldn't manage the pain that I was feeling that day, and until I did that, that's when they came to give me my medication. So I understand the boy calling 999 on the table on his bed before he passed. You understand? Because the people don't understand the pain. Even recently, with my work, when I tell people I'm cold, people thought I'm joking. No. Even though I'm wearing thick jacket, I still feel cold. It's like somebody's like using razor blade. When cold touch my skin, it's like somebody's using razor blade like this to like. And when I'm telling people I'm cold, they'll be like, oh, the weather is nice, but it's nice for you because your blood is fine. But me, it's not nice for me. I have to keep warm. My house have to be heated regularly. I have to make sure that I drink my water. If you go into my kitchen right now, it's like I have a pharmacy. There's a mini pharmacy there. There's the tablets that I take every day. You understand? But one of the things that I am so grateful for right now, 4 years I haven't been admitted to the hospital. And it's because, yes, thank God, you understand. And it's because by His grace, and also I'm trying to stay away from the hospital. You understand? Because when people start seeing you regularly at the hospital, they'll be like, oh, he's addicted to the drug, he's here again. Like, even when people see me at the hospital when I do my regular checkup, like, oh, we haven't seen you in a long time. I said, yes, I don't want to.
That's how I like it.
It's either you see me outside, catch me outside.
Yeah.
You understand?
So,
but on a serious note, it's a very, very serious thing to, like, if people are telling you they need the medication, please give them the medication. It's not like because they're addicted to it. It's because they're just trying to get rid of that pain. Yeah, like the way I don't wish that pain on anybody. I don't wish on anybody, because He's seen me when I in my worst. A lot of people will see me smile outside, but they never know. They never see me when I'm rolling in crisis, when I'm actually having pain. My older brother has never seen me in a hospital bed before. When one time he came, he was in tears. He was like, he didn't know that this is what I was going through, and I was
Or
like,
you've been going through.
yeah, I've been going through because he doesn't like hospital, so he's never come like like come see me when I'm actually having my crisis. The time it comes is when I'm recovering. You understand? And also when we come out of the hospital, we need another 2 weeks to get our energy, to get our nutrients back, to get our system back. And do you know how many jobs I've lost because of sickle cell crisis? Do you know how many jobs I've been fired from because of sickle cell crisis? That's why I've decided to start working for myself. Even though I'm not getting paid, but as long as it's making me happy and I'm doing something positive with myself, you understand? You know, people don't understand it. Like people really don't understand it, especially when it comes to employment. The only time my university understand is when I did a project about sickle cell and I showed them what I went through. They actually brought a camera into the hospital and filmed me when I was in crisis. My teacher then now understand. We don't like to tell people we're in pain, especially in secondary school. My eyes was really yellow then. I don't know how my yellow has turned white now, but I'm grateful for that. When you see sickle cell patient, their eyes yellow. We used to get bullied. We used to get called names. You understand? And you're saying about friends as well. You understand? And we would like to do what friends are doing, but sometimes we can't do it. Like when it comes to sports and sports in school, like swimming, or football or cricket. I remember when I went to play cricket for the first time, when the ball hit my leg, I gave up sport after that. Like sport is not for me. You understand? So when if your friends are doing stuff and then they're seeing you are running out of breath, obviously they're gonna be what's wrong with him? You understand? Because they don't understand. People don't understand. If they feel it or they have somebody in their family member that has it, then they will know like, oh okay, yeah, this guy needs to be, we need to like take care of him.
Yeah.
You understand? So when it comes to friends as well, friends need to understand it. Stress. When it comes to exam period, I used to get stressed and then I'll fall into crisis. I've missed so many exams because of I'm stressed like, oh gosh, the exam is coming. Anxiety can cause it as well. I remember when I want to do my first music video, I was so happy, like I was so gassed. I had to cancel the video because I fell into crisis. You understand? And so when people are telling you that they're going through this stuff, please try and have a understanding mind and just listen to them.
So yeah, I mean, you just heard it from the horse's mouth, as they say. So what we're trying to also do as well is to use this platform for anybody out there that might be new to this whole experience of having someone in their family with sickle cell, or potentially with someone that they've got a partner that potentially want to have children with. If you need any sort of advice on this, any sort of like, even like signs to look out for if your child has it or your child could potentially have it, these are things that myself or my brother can advise.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do as well, I mean, he's more than happy to give out his personal contact details.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions, no matter how little, small, even to do with the blood group, blood test, these are things that I would advise anybody to just speak to their GP, speak to their doctor, do your blood tests. So at least that way, if you're aware of these things, you'll be able to prepare yourself in terms of potential partners that you're going to go for. Because when you have this conversation with your potential partners, you're literally sharing the knowledge, because they might not be aware of it. And it's not ignorance, it's more a case of the stigma that I said earlier on. Not many people are clued up about it, and we just need to be able to understand it more and be a bit supportive as a community.
Yeah, I know you might say you're in love. Love is blind.
Yeah.
No, love. Trust me. Sickle cell. I've break up relationship. I've break up family. So make sure that you definitely do your blood test before you planning a family.
Procreate, yeah.
Planning a family. I know we're young, or we wanna we wanna feel good and everything, but make sure you plan it very well because a man can disappear. And also men are the most important person to check this blood thing because as a man we always say that we are strong and nothing is wrong. Not in my family. That's what they used to say back in Africa. Our family there's no such thing. And then you find out, okay, yeah. So it's so good to like
Know yourself.
know yourself, and also please family members understand, give them proper care. You understand? If they say they want to go out or something, just advise them. If you go out,
Look
make
after
sure you
yourself.
keep warm, drink water, call me anytime that you're alright. Go to your regular checkups. Yeah, go to your regular. If you need to be taking medication every day, you can. But if you don't have to take it every day, don't. The reason why is because, yeah, those medication that you're taking every day can also have effects in your body, in your system. You understand? So if you need it, take it. If you have a slight crisis that's coming up, take your medication immediately before it gets serious. You understand? Because that's how graduate it comes, and then boom, and then you have to go to the hospital. We want to say thank you to everyone that's been looking after sickle cell warriors out there. First of all, sickle cell society as well. There's information out there if you want any information. So contact the sickle cell society in UK. If you need any advice from me, you can contact me anytime. I'm all about raising awareness for sickle cell. I've always been doing that. You understand? So if you need advice, if I can help, if I know anything about it, then I will be able to help you. And